said before, for the sake of this exercise, we agreed that I use just session 3 of the digital marketing course. And session 3 has to do with how to use the digital marketing tools and techniques, methods, apply those to come out with a digital marketing strategy. So we're going to be very, very practical, and I hope that by the end of the session, you will be able to, that is Jean-Paul and David, to select appropriate digital marketing tools, techniques and methods to use to market a business of your choice, and to be able to prepare a draft outline of the business's digital marketing strategy. And to be able to do this, we'll be looking at the digital marketing strategy template. I have used one developed by digital marketers, which is called the Customer Value Journey. And we will also be able to see what are the tools and techniques that are used for this Customer Value Journey. And we'll do a case study, which will enable us to maybe set up 3 successful campaigns out of 8, which are on the journey, that can be used to, first of all, get awareness of the customers, and then engage them, get them to subscribe, eventually convert them, and then move them right up to when they will become the brand ambassadors or promoters of the business. So here before us, we have the digital marketing strategy template. The journey starts from awareness. The whole idea is how we can capture prospects, engage them, get them to subscribe, convert them from prospects to customers, and then excite them through good services, good products and services, and get them to ascend by buying often and often again, and until they become loyal and become advocates voluntarily, and then promote either intentionally, gainfully or not, our services or products. So this before you is what we call the value journey worksheet, which is actually the template that we use to develop a digital marketing strategy. We are going to look at one stage after another until we get to promote. But this time, for the purpose of this course, because the actual objective is for you to be able to draft a campaign or a strategy, we are not going to go into details, but you'll get enough awareness to be able to decide what tactics you can use for each stage of the journey. Are there any questions at this level? If not, we move to the next stage. And the next stage is we have the journey on one side, and then we have the tools and techniques that we use for each stage of the journey. When you capture a prospect, or when you have a lead who visits, for example, your website, or who takes notice of an advert that you place maybe on social media, what you do is you are using those tools to create awareness in order to generate leads. That is, whoever comes across the advert, whoever visits your website, you transform that person into a lead, which means you transform the person into a prospect and therefore a potential customer. So what are the tools you use at this level? You use digital advertising, which means you use online advertising tools, messages, and what have you. All that you can have that can tell somebody that your product or your service or your business exists. There is also what we call the search marketing. This is actually what we call a search engine optimization. That means you use some words to craft your message in such a way that it will be very high up there in the search engine, such that somebody who starts typing that word will be led to maybe your website or wherever you've placed your services or your products, and be able to generate an interest in your product or services, and eventually become a customer and a loyal customer. You could use content marketing. Content marketing usually is like you place some content on your product, on your service, on a place where, an online place spot where the potential customer will be interested in that content. Quite often that content is free. If it is a service or a product, sometimes it may be like a free ebook, and while they are downloading, you are collecting their contacts and use those to engage them and eventually follow up and get them to become customers and climb up the ladder and become promoters. Because the idea is to increase your sales by increasing customers. Or use social media marketing. Social media, all the various social media methods that you know, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you use those to market and thereby create awareness and generate leads. The next step is to engage your prospect. You engage your prospect using what we've seen before, but most importantly, content marketing, through which you collect their contacts and then lead them to develop interest in your product or service, and then you eventually get them to subscribe. There is also social media marketing. I talked about that. And then the email marketing. This is very important. The email marketing is when you have collected their contacts and then you start interacting with them to the extent that you convince them and get them to buy. The third step is get your prospect to subscribe by obtaining and using contacts. I talked about subscribing and getting contact. What that means is that because you place a content which is which will be of interest to your prospect on your website and you make it free, for example, you ask them to provide their email, the contacts that will enable you to start communicating with them. That is the subscription phase. And the techniques that you use are content marketing, of course, email marketing for follow-up, digital advertising, and conversion rate optimization. And you now move to the next step. After you have gotten them to subscribe, you convert them through follow-up to become customers. And with this, you use digital advertising, content marketing, email marketing, and search marketing. And when you have converted them into leads, your intention is they should move from leads to customers. And when they become customers, the next thing you do is you get them excited by making sure that their first experience is so interesting that they want to get back again. For this, you use email marketing for follow-up and content marketing. And the next stage is, after you have gotten them excited, you want them to ascend. And to get them to ascend is you motivate them. Keep contact with them, motivate them to the extent that they will be very excited to repeat and then become loyal customers. And then the next step is you lead them to become advocates. And at that time, they are doing that happily because they've had good and several repeated experiences. They start talking to their friends, to their network about your product and how good your product is. And for that, you use social marketing, email marketing, and search marketing. And then the final step of the funnel is promoters. You get them, your loyal customers who have become advocates, you transform them into promoters. Sometimes you can do that for a reward, and sometimes you can get them to do that voluntarily. So these are the techniques, these are the steps all the way to when you create awareness and move your customers to become promoters. And all this is to capture customers, to maintain them, to to grow your customer base, to grow your business through sales, and to become more and more profitable. So this is the tool that we use in developing a digital marketing strategy. And the next thing we do is, now that you know the tools, at least you are aware of the tools, I can always again present this on the screen so you can use it. Once you are aware of the screen of the tools, you'll be expected during this session, for the few minutes that we have left, to use these tools to design a campaign. A campaign is, if we take the create awareness, what is it that you do to enable to create awareness for the customers who are still at the level of getting to become leads? So I'm going to walk you a little bit through how you present the contents of your campaign. We are going to take the case of DMC Business Growth Digital Marketing Strategy. Most often, companies who want this digital marketing strategy are companies which are struggling. And DMC happens to be one of them. So diagnosis has been carried out, and here are the results of the diagnosis for you. DMC Limited was founded in 2009 in Douala in Cameroon, and it delivers business advisory and capacity building solutions to micro and small and medium-sized enterprises in sub-Saharan Africa with the ambition of becoming a global player. Between 2012 and 2017, the company experienced some growth, but from 2017, decline started. The company started losing customers due to crisis in Cameroon and absence of visibility to potential national and international customers. Capacity building has moved from on-site to online, but DMC has not moved. DMC is still on-site. So DMC's business is not visible to its customers. And most probably also because the customers are online, while DMC is on-site. Very good new products such as online and face-to-face coaching and mentoring are not visible. DMC has that. They may be potential customers, they are online, but DMC is on-site, and so it's not visible. The blog is stale. DMC has a blog which is stale, and the current website is neither interactive nor mobile. The current social media presence is limited to the founder's LinkedIn account, which is not regularly refreshed. And other social media accounts are not visible, and they are not used for marketing as well. So with this information, you will be required to do the 3 first steps in digital marketing strategy. Create awareness to engage. Create awareness, engage, change prospects into leads, engage them, and then engage the prospects and move them to subscribe, and then you subscribe them and convert them into customers. So these 3, you're going to do them today, and then the next steps, you will prepare them for the next session, which is convert, move them from convert to excite, and then move the excited ones to ascend, and move the ones that have started ascending to promote, and move those that are promoting already to become advocate, or the other way around. Get them to advocate, ascend to advocate, and advocate to promote. And the next time also, you will come out with an integrated digital marketing strategy for DMC. But for today, you will get inspiration from this format. So for the 3, you're going to come out with a campaign message for awareness, the campaign goal for awareness, the content needed for awareness, the traffic source that you use for awareness, and a statement of call to action. What action do you want? If it is awareness, then there has to be a statement. Your campaign message has to be such that can create awareness. That is the example. I'm going also to present an example of a template of one of the campaigns so that you can use that inspiration. And if you are attached to internet, you are free also to go through the internet and then find some pages in order to get inspiration. But I guess just for this session, what I'm going to show you now should be enough inspiration for you to be able to work. So there is an example of Michelin's dressing business. The campaign message is, sign up for Michelin's trending ladies dresses and great offers and get 20% off for your first purchase. Right here you can see the call to action. The call to action is to engage and then to get them to subscribe. So most probably the awareness level has been attained. These are leads, for example, that you want now to subscribe, that is using like content and email for them to leave their contacts and then go directly to buy. That's the conversion. And then the content needed is email copy. That is, once they register all their email details, you get those, and then you engage them to ask them to buy already or to make much more proposals about the quality of the dresses and what is it that you can do to them. Maybe provide free shipping and whatever. And then the traffic source is Google AdWords. What this means is, for this particular campaign, there was a statement about trending dresses, most probably, because ladies like what is trending. So Michelin's trending dresses. The AdWord will be trending ladies dresses. So that was the Google AdWords was the traffic source. So the ladies who are looking for dresses and who are used to buying dresses, they would go on Google, I do it myself, and then just type ladies trending dresses. And of course, Michelin's trending dresses will pop up among the first ones and go directly to the source. And of course, one of the things that will attract me is the fact that I'm going to have 20% off from my first purchase. So I'll be excited to engage and then to buy. So they would have succeeded in getting me to engage, to subscribe, and then become a customer. So if you need to understand anything, let me know. If not, let me say you have 10 minutes to produce and present. Are you okay? Hello? Okay.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Okay. From the example you just gave us, I've been beginning to ask the question on what are the practical examples of products that we can use for keyword bidding in search engine optimization. And I can see that in the example you just gave, the traffic source is Google AdWords.
Yeah.
So my question, what is the difference between Google AdWords and Google AdSense? And if there's any difference between these two, as a professional digital marketer and entrepreneurship coach, if there's any difference between Google AdWords and Google AdSense, what is the uniqueness of each of these in digital marketing?
Yeah, I would like to talk about that, but because of time, I think the question I want to get from you is the question that can enable you to understand the assignment in order to do it. And for this reason, the example that I gave to you is that of a company which is into capacity building and business advisory, and which wants to gain visibility for its capacity building business, and for which I need you to carry out, draft a campaign which will create awareness and which will engage and subscribe. So if you ask me an example of an AdWord that we can use for that particular case, yeah, that we can discuss for now. But to go now into details of definitions and differences, as long as it will not add value to enable you to do the assignment, I think we can park that for the next time.
Can we also use cold emailing in our campaign in the classwork you're giving to us? Can we use cold emailing as well?
You can use it as long as you believe that it will be effective. But do you want to use it to create awareness? Do you want to use it to engage? Do you want to use it to subscribe, to get them to subscribe?
Yes, we can use it for the three. And but also another problem is sometimes when we use cold emailing, we stand the consequence of our emails going into the spam folder of our leads. How can we avoid that when we're doing assignments?
You are very correct. I think that for this particular case, Facebook, for example, is very good in creating awareness. If you are talking about awareness, Facebook is very good in creating awareness. As long as you are able to use a good filter to target the category of persons who may be interested in capacity building. I think that you can think of something like Facebook, and also for engagement. I don't think that cold mailing would be good for engagement. Engagement is when you want to be able to collect contacts. If you want to collect contacts, using content may be much more interesting. You can put like a scoop of some successful capacity building activity that has taken place, and then put just a short video that can be downloaded, but through which you collect the contacts of the prospects, and then you can get back to them to make proposals, interact with them at that time. After they have subscribed, you interact with them, and then eventually transform them at the level of prospects into customers.
What do you also suggest to be the differences in time we engage? So for example, if I throw out a massive email to a contact of 100 leads, for example, one day, not this week, what do you advise to be the time frame between conversation and engagement through email?
I think
sometimes when you have a lot of emails coming in from marketing platforms, as individuals, as well, we get tired of email posts from marketing companies and products. So what is the advice that you can give in the time frame we can put in throwing emails at our leads?
I will follow immediately. I won't let them forget about the experience. Okay, somebody has just downloaded my ebook, and I know the person, if they download the ebook, is because they need the content. Okay, and if they need the content, probably they may be interested in my capacity building product and other services. So what I will do is I watch out. As soon as I collect the contacts, I send out the email immediately. And then I'll follow up with something that may be of interest also. I won't leave too much time gap between the engagement and then the experience, collecting the contacts, and then following up with emails.
And what are the types of attractive things we can, sometimes if my business is, for example, on a website, maybe I provide an online service, and I've used this type of beautiful campaign that you have brought us today, and I put it up. What did you have really catchy features I can put on my landing page, which in this case my website, to retain their interest in buying from me or to convert them to purchasing customers. Just checking that 5 more minutes.
Okay. Yeah, what I will do is I will get back to the example that we are using for this activity, which is capacity building. What I will do is I would have studied the market and I will know where the need is. So if, as at that time, the problem of people wanting capacity building is coaching, okay, I will make sure that I bring up a scoop on coaching, and then I bring out the testimonial of somebody who has benefited from it and who is very happy with it. That's what I will do.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Any questions? If there are no questions, can somebody at least tell me what is it that you came up with? Let's take just awareness. What is it that you proposed? What was the campaign message?
I proposed that the example you gave us, I would propose that the company actually do a new market survey, right?
Yeah.
Because the need of customers keeps changing because of the involvement of the market and new technologies. The needs of people are changing every day. So the first thing I would recommend is that DMC goes into a new market survey to actually understand the new market dynamics, right? Then if that comes to play, then we'll be able to, drive other strategies in terms of engagement, in terms of conversion, in terms of also understanding the kind of content we push to them. And in this day and age when there is micro-targeting, I would suggest that micro-targeting follows the market survey, whereby we segment the business information and the advert information we give to different segments of people in the society that will be needing the product.
Okay, but are you not going to suggest something to DMC, which we never do, because DMC has carried out the diagnosis. DMC knows his problem. DMC is staying on on-site training, whereas the potential customers and the current customers have moved to online training. DMC understands that there is need, for example, for authoring courses and placing them online. But DMC needs to create awareness, to start engaging and be sure that by the time that the courses are online, there are already leads who want the courses. So what is the campaign message, for example? Can somebody give me just a campaign message similar to what we got for Michelin?
My campaign line could be get knowledge about our product with little or no price on our online platform.
Okay, but I hope it will not be some type of marketing that they can come back to buy it you, because it's business. If you say this for less or nothing, what about creating content? What about creating content and placing some content?
We can use sentences that has to do with price slashes or
yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Or price slashes or from the discussion you've had with us, we are beginning to think of how creative campaign messages should be.
Yeah.
Even if I don't get
That's right.
what you have given, I think from the examples you have given us, we'll go back and read more to understand how to craft good campaign messages.
That's fantastic. I think the whole idea also is to get you to explore, because our philosophy about capacity building, particularly to young people, is to give them the opportunity to use their creativity and to be innovative. The idea is not to chew and give to them. So I'm glad you will go back and then study, get more examples, get much more inspiration, and then prepare for the next for the next class. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hello, Viviana. I think we'll have to stop now.
Yeah.
This is the end of the time which
Okay.
was allocated for you.
Thank you very much.
So
Yeah.
you will be getting back. Yeah, you will be getting back from us
Okay.
on possible steps depending on the outcome of this process.
Okay. Thanks very much. It was nice having some time with you and sharing and listening to very knowledgeable students also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye.